Today we're going to cover one of the best ways to get pictures of the bucks using your property right here on Landbeat. So when it gets towards the latter part of summer and first part of fall, we start shifting our trail cameras over to scrapes. Even though it's a little bit early, from about mid-September through the end of hunting season, a lot of my trail cameras are on scrapes. And not just any old scrape at the edge of a field or down a logging road, but scrapes that I can also monitor food plots, water holes, roads, whatever it may be. I'm using a combination of locations or attractants to get deer in front of my camera. Here on this property, we're working on trying to establish perennial or annually used mock scrapes or scrapes on food plots or roads. And a lot of times as landowners doze out new food plots, our lower limbs, because we go from closed canopy hardwoods to a wide open field, there are no lower limbs available for scrapes, so you have to get creative. Here, we took this red oak and I notched a little cut on the back of a limb and draped this limb down within range or within reach of a deer. And if you look along the edge of this food plot, it's the only licking branch available on this end of the food plot. And so for us, we've combined that with the road that comes to this plot, the field edge that comes this way. So there's three different focal points or things that can make this mock scrape attractive to deer. And we're not trying to just have deer in camera. We want to give them something to come and look at, urinate in, check it out so we can capture them on camera. This is by far my favorite tool in finding out what deer are on my property throughout the fall, is scrapes. So make sure you have your cameras on scrapes. Probably 95% of my cameras have a licking branch somewhere in frame. And it's usually the only licking branch within 100 yards that I have my camera on. And so by saying that, I'm saying if you have a camera on one licking branch and there's 10 other around the edge of the food plot, cut those all down. Try to establish a perennial used scrape limb, one that is the only spot to check, and deer will get accustomed to using that one as they're frequenting this area. So as deer work their way down the road or they come into the edge of the plot, they're going to get accustomed to working this scrape. For me, I just like using trees that are already growing there. You can use rope, you can use vines, you can use twine, you can use whatever you want, grapevines, all kinds of different things. My experience, what I like the most is a tree that already has a branch and I can just clear it out and make it a scrape. Or in some cases you have to bring a branch down. This is probably a short-term fix for that season. It may not be the limb that gets used year after year after year. But until the limbs start growing on these trees on the edge of the plot, this is our best solution. So we've got a branch down about antler height or face height, and then we have to make bare ground. Because we're in the middle of a drought, it's going to be pretty easy. Bare ground is crucial, licking branch crucial. Other thing I like to do is either urinate in it myself or take a bottle of water, but I want wet ground in this scrape when I leave. So I have the appearance of what looks like a deer worked it, the smell of fresh dirt, it's visually attractive, and then there's also some scent there. And so that right there is just a quick and easy way to get deer on camera.